Everyone, Phil Gallagher here of ThrabenU for another awesome Legacy stream. Just as a couple of general channel announcements. Number one, my new emote is live. So the ThrabenU Chalice, as you see here, is now good to go. We had a donation from Innistrad Revenue Service this afternoon to help finish off our previous donation slash sub goal of a guest stream. So we will be playing some Erosa with Brian Koval next week on Monday, and I'm super looking forward to that. That's a deck list that I've been pretty curious about, and been talking a decent amount about Brian on the with Brian on the Eternal Glory podcast about that deck. So I'm going to be super excited to be working with one of my co-hosts and to see that in action. And then number three, we now have a new sub goal. I have another emote commissioned. Let me see if I have the good old draft here. We have a Sad Thalia emote on the horizon. That is going to be our next sub goal. Oh, where did I put that? It's going to look something like this, which I'm quite looking forward to seeing that in action. So that'll be forthcoming, hopefully next week. I imagine we'll probably get that sub goal met pretty quickly. Hey, welcome. And final stream-related announcement, Ikoria cards are now live. They are currently in treasure chests, so we may start seeing those cards as soon as this league. Booster packs, I believe, don't go on sale until tomorrow, so it's going to be hard to get Ikoria cards for the next the next 24 hours. But as of tomorrow, I expect to start seeing lots of Ikoria cards popping up all over the place. Especially Varus. All right, today's donation deck list is courtesy of Ian B., who has donated once previously to see this red-white prison deck in action. We played it once before. I don't remember how we finished. I want to say it was a 3-2, but I don't exactly remember. So this is very much like 95% normal red prison, but you have a few white cards in the main deck. You have Thalia Heretic Athar as an additional early hate piece, as well as Stoneforge Mystic to give you some life gain and to make your threats a little bit more resilient. So we have Jitte, Sword of Fire Ice, and Batterskull in the main deck, supplemented by 3 copies of Stoneforge Mystic. Whether or not the splash is worth it is a little bit questionable, but we did, it was a 4-1 last time, thank you. But we did do some really cool things last time around with the white cards, and this is an updated version of the deck list. Last time around, I feel like we played a few more things that were just kind of cute, but didn't necessarily deliver a lot of times. And this time around, things feel a little bit more polished. The white splash is very light, as you can see here, but it should give us additional legs in a handful of matchups, and we'll kind of see how it goes. As far as the sideboard goes, you have the traditional Karn Wish package here, as well as things that you would expect to see out of this deck if it was normal traditional red prison. Chandra, Awaken Inferno, and Pyroclasm, and then we also have a Holy Light, which is slightly awkward because this is a symmetrical card, right? Non-white creatures get -1/-1 until end of turn. So if you have a bunch of Goblin tokens from Goblin Rabblemaster, it will shrink and kill those. Yes, last time around we had like Nahiri and Ajani, and despite the fact that like Ajani, like we rode Ajani to victory just beautifully in at least one game, the cards are a little bit clunky as a whole. So I definitely like this version better than what we tried previously. Although we do lose the ability to put a red-white card under Chrome Mox and get it to tap for 2 different colors. And that was definitely neat. Yeah, so anyway, we might see Holy Light kill some of our Goblin tokens, but if this answers, say, a True Name Nemesis, which is really a problem card for Red Prison, then that is perhaps well worth the trade. All right, we are not quite operational yet. We need a couple of players more to join to get us going. So, chat, do you have any questions about like new cards that are coming out? I'm going to do a full like Ikoria breakdown stream Saturday morning where we're going to look at a whole bunch of Ikoria deck lists and kind of like think about where the metagame is going. But I'm happy to kind of field some questions right now to buy a couple of minutes while we wait for this league to launch. It should not be long. But the servers just went back up right before I went live. So it's not surprising that we need to wait another minute or two until there's enough people in here to get us paired. So last night I recorded next week's Eternal Glory, or I guess Friday's Eternal Glory, I believe is when we're pushing them out. And it was really fun. It was a long, long night. The episode is probably going to clock in at a little under 2 hours, probably like an hour and 45 minutes all in all. But it was really good, and I even learned a few new things about the new set. It was super cool. Hey Phil, when can we get the new cards from Ikoria for MTGO? So June Baby, technically as of right now, all those cards are live. However, they are only in treasure chests right now. As of tomorrow, they are going to be in booster packs as well. So tomorrow is when it's going to be much easier to get Ikoria cards, although like they are technically available as of right now. So basically, you hope no one will play them. No, man, I want everyone to play the Ikoria cards. I want to get paired against like sweet new things. I know Yama Killer, for example, is opening something ridiculous like 700 chests on stream so that like people can get cards from him directly, since it's so hard to get new cards in the first day. Oh man, I have so many deck lists set aside for my Saturday morning stream. I got a whole bunch from PVDH who just shipped me all sorts of goodness. Eddie shipped me a deck list. Callum Smith shipped me a couple of deck lists. And people are sending me things via Discord as well. We're going to have some really fun shenanigans to talk about. Having issues with goblins and empty the warrens, and hence the inclusion of pyro and holy. Yeah, I'm not knocking Holy Light. Like I have played that card many times with absolutely no shame, and it's been good pretty much every time that I've run that card. So if you think about a lot of the red prison threats, they do just get chump blocked. So like when you have a Goblin Rabble Master, if that's your primary way to close the game, if your opponent has a 1/1 every turn, it just like gets in the way of that, or 2 1/1s trades with it. So having Holy Light as an out to that is pretty good. And Holy Light doesn't actually kill any of your creatures, since all your creatures are at least 2 toughness. So I don't think we have like much to worry about there in terms of like backlash from Holy Light. Yeah, Gyruda infinite combo is going to be pretty cool. I've seen multiple Gyruda cloned deck lists that finish the game in various ways. I've also seen a couple of like Gyruda Bomberman sort of decks. We've got a lot of very... I don't know that I quite want to go so far as to say very scary, but very interesting interactions on the horizon. Gyruda clone sounds cool, but I'm looking for way stupider stuff. Oh yeah, we've got it. Ah, Eddie, welcome. Yeah, we're talking about bad decks and cards while we wait for 3 more people to join this league so I can get my matches started. Yeah, I don't care, man. Red Prison versus Curses. We have a chance to get paired. That's fine. What edition am I playing? What edition of what? I have a lot of cards that are different editions. Pretty good snow-covered plains. The reprint one though. New set symbol. Yeah, the Shark Cyclone is a super cool card. Yeah, league match. Yeah, the snow-covered plains is Ice Age. Although I also really like the Odyssey Lightning Plains. That's my go-to plains. Would you play bad True Name Nemesis in this if you had it? Oh, that's a legit question. Yes, the person with the most tickets at the end, or sorry, the most trophies at the end. So we're playing against Storm. I'm gonna keep turn 2 Karn on the play. The person with the most trophies at the end gets like some sort of prestige avatar. And mad bragging rights. You take one of the Karns, friend. However, I had 2. And so since I can't take both of the Karns, it's better to just go and take the thing that's different so that I can't have 2 annoying stacking effects in play. Rogue Judge, thank you very much for the support. You are our first of 5 subs towards my sweet new Thalia emote. We're just getting a turn 3 Goldfish. Since we, like, luck sacked the 3rd Ancient Tomb. Yep, and we're done here. I did it for the emotes. I'll update the counter as soon as I'm done sideboarding. I guess I'll Leyline. And I can consider Holy Lights and Chandra's, like, depending on if I have something that's, like, just bad for the matchup. Also Pyroclasm. So, like, the whole Stoneforge Mystic package is not great in this matchup. So we'll probably be junking at least some portion of that. Like, I don't super want Sword of Fire and Ice. Batterskull's, like, fine. Moons are medium. Fire Confluence is medium. So that's my easy 3 for 3, and then the question is, like, how many answers to goblins do I want when I'm on the draw? I don't know how focused on my white mana I should be here. Like, Batterskull is good against goblins, and so, like, maybe if I'm cutting the Stoneforge for other things that are good against goblins, that's just worse. Like, I don't think this is particularly good either. So what if when I'm on the draw? This also kills my stuff. Let's go a tiny bit threat light to just play some things that will be empty the Warrens. So my opponent has kept 7. I can't produce a turn 1 play, and my turn 2 plays are kind of whatever, and if I get duressed, I lose Chrome Mox. I don't think his hand is good enough. This hand is fine. As of right now, the Thalia Heretic Cathar is going under Chrome Mox. Which doesn't let me Rabble Master on 1, so I'm looking to Chalice on 1. This is definitely going back. I probably get Thoughtseize, lose the Chalice, and then my hand is like medium minus. But I don't think I can go to 5 here. Trying to beat Thoughtseize by mulliganing is kind of a risky proposition. Alright, so I have turn 2 Rabble Master as of right now, as my clock, but I'm going to play Ancient Tomb first here, because of, like, Karn reasons in the long term. Yeah, I'm super hyped for the new emote, and we're going to be seeing more in the future as well. I have big plans that I'm starting to put together. If I don't draw a white source, I am just fiery confluencing his face. This is also kind of the point where I just expect to die. I've technically interacted with my opponent twice between Thoughtseize and Abrupt Decay. Yeah. You know how, like, Painter sometimes splashes a little bit of white and you're like, ah, strawberry shortcake? We kind of did the same thing. Stronger. Yeah, I definitely think that's the sort of thing that I consider. Yeah, our Chrome Mox situation this game has been terrible, right? Like, we couldn't imprint Thalia under whatchamacallit, under Chrome Mox at the beginning of the game to play Goblin Rebel Master. And we can't imprint Thalia to cast Leyline because we would need black. Our hand was kind of a stinker after we mulled and got Thoughtseized, but, like, we knew that going into it. So our opponent has dealt 8 to themselves already without our help. So this is just some goblins. You're 1 turn late, friend. So we get 3 turns. We're going to take 9 this turn, followed by 8 next turn. Fucking so punished for not putting Thalia under Chrome Box earlier to play towards this very fringe world. Planes off the top. It's super weird that I win that game if I imprint the Thalia, but I don't think I'm supposed to imprint the Thalia because I need to potentially keep it in case I draw a land instead, so that I actually have a threat / disruptive piece. So that's a super interesting position. So again, I think we're in kind of the same boat where we can think about Chandra Awaken Inferno and Stone Forges. Thalia Heretic Athar is a disruptive play early on. Like, it's a very, very good turn 1 play in the like fringe scenarios where we can make that happen, and it's still a very good turn 2 play as well. Solnox, yes, they are in treasure chests as of now. I think on the play I should consider 1 more Stoneforge Mystic for Batterskull. And maybe we'll drop 1 Thalia Heretic Athar for it. This is a weird one. I wouldn't go so far as to say that I like this hand, but I'm certainly not throwing back this hand. Oh, are we just getting turn 1 through Leyline? Loop, the play that I took plays around single removal spell for Leyline that's not Echoing Truth. Yeah, specifically, that's not Echoing Truth. Oh, there was an Infernal Tutor at the beginning there. I missed that. Okay. Dear Dad, thank you very much for following. So now we just get tendrils. G's. Very strong hand from our opponent there. We definitely ran into the clunkiness of the white cards there. I think we very handily win that game with that match without the white cards in our deck. Game 2, we get the Rebel Master down before our opponent gets the thought sees it. Our opponent dealt 8 to themselves that game. The Rebel Master would have very easily killed them. C'est la vie. And like, similarly, in that second game, we had the Thalia Heretic Cathar sitting in our hand that we couldn't cast because we didn't have white mana. And then similarly, we couldn't cast the Holy Light that we drew because we didn't have white mana. So definitely saw the clunkiness of splashing there. Oh yeah, like we did perfectly fine with this deck before, and we did kind of get like nutted there by a storm in game 3, right? So that was turn 1 through like 1.5 pieces of disruption, where they also had to either discard me or not goblins, because I had an answer and kind of 2 different answers to goblins. So like, yeah, they got it. Game 2, that was game 3, free smells. Yep. Hey. Good luck. This is very obviously a keep, and depending on what our opponent leads on, we have a lot of different choices. Again, white card's not looking hot so far. Like, this is both uncastable, and we can't put it under Chrome Mox to help us cast the other cards. So, rough combo. Alright, we were playing against Cephalid Breakfast. That, though, is pretty good. So now we'll Chrome Mox, use that to get rid of this Thalia. We'll Chrome Mox again. Storm is 2. We get rid of the Chandra Torch of Defiance. And then I think it is correct to YOLO Blood Moon rather than Trinisphere first, because they led on Tundra. And I don't want to give them a chance to draw a fetch land. If they just have the island, they just have the island, and that's that. But otherwise, I might just keep them off of casting any more spells this game. Nice. Alright, we've probably got this one locked up now. You would have to play way more lands. Yeah, so Vial or drawing island or multiple islands is kind of the outs for our opponents. We'll want to get a Chalice on 1 ASAP to shut off Vial as an out. It's a neck-to-neck race, 16 to 15. Opponent's going to put me to 14, then I'm going to put them to 14. That's a good draw. Oh, baby. Yep, and there's very understandably the concession. All right, what do we want against Cephalid Breakfast? And how combo-oriented are they going to be for the next game? In case you're not familiar with it, Cephalid Breakfast very regularly sideboards into a deck that very much resembles Stoneblade. And I need to keep that in mind. So, like, I probably want this to answer true names. I probably want some number of bridges in respect to true names, leaving one in the sideboard for Karn. I probably want these as a finisher versus control, and I probably want this to clear the field of, like, whatever ends up getting out there. I don't think Trinisphere, when I'm on the draw, is particularly strong. The Stoneforge package is fine. I think I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit here and cut the Thalias. On the draw, I think Blood Moon or Magus of the Moon is more powerful and more castable than this. And as far as like the combo portion of the deck goes, them entering tapped is not the biggest deal. Yeah, I think I like this. So there's 7 white sources for these Stoneforges and Holy Light. Yikes. I guess technically 9 if you count drawing Stoneforges towards Chrome Box. I don't know. Like, the math there is weird since I have so few white cards to imprint after sideboarding out the Thalias. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. This is like everything I could possibly want. So we have white mana and red mana, multiple pieces of acceleration, and a very powerful 1-2 punch. It's just the question of like in which order do we do it. So I'm so close to just doing it all. All right. So I have 1, 2. I have 5 mana this turn. I think I moon them first and try to keep them off of white for casting Stoneforge for Batterskull. I also get to absolutely savage them if they daze me. All right. We will try to Rabble next turn. It's super awkward if they just play Stoneforge for Batterskull here, though. Like, I probably can't even play the Rabble Master. Okay. So a Nomad's Encore will just kill us. Uh-oh. Alright. So just to explain how this combo works. Nomad's Encore targets Cephalid Illusionist, and you get to mill yourself for your entire deck. Once you've done that, you go and use Dread Return to bring back 3 creatures. It's not necessarily a deterministic kill in that, like, my opponent could have some critical pieces in their hand, but it should kill me. Accordingly, I'm just gonna wait to see what my opponent has sideboarded and then concede. Like, I just want to confirm that, like, the true names are in their deck for the post sideboard games, and then I'm good. Okay, yeah. So they did board in the true names. There's the Dread Return. There's a Cabal Therapy, so if one of the cards is stuck in their hand, that beats me. So now we're just looking for the Thassa's Oracle. All right, there's the Thassa's Oracle. I will concede to that. Oh, man. Chat, why didn't any of you yell at me? We forgot to bring in the ley lines. We're going to blame you for that one, chat, not me. Alright, so I need to make 3 cuts now. Maybe 3. Each one of the pieces of equipment has different utility that matters. Like, this punches through true name. This kills creatures. This gains life. Alright. I'm going to accept that Sword of Fire and Ice can kill a creature and not play the Jitte. I'm going to try to just get my opponent dead when I'm on the play. And oftentimes I'm not going to draw this Holy Light and white mana at the same time anyway. I think Bridges and Confluence out and just ignore the True Name Nemesis in that capacity. Just say I can wish for one if I need it. I don't know, Fire Confluence is also a board sweeper though, and it answers Vial. I think I'm going to do that. Nope. This is fine. See, the white mana again is biting us in the butt because we don't gain the ability to, like, Magus of the Moon early. But, like, we're going to get turn 2 Karn, which is still probably fine. Marintil, thank you very much for throwing your Twitch Prime money this month, friend. Thank you for your support. Enjoy your emotes as well as these legacy games. It would be a shame if something happened to that. Please don't counter my Karn. It's a very good follow-up play for next turn. Oh, it just resolved. Okay. Minus, use this ability, yes. We're just gonna take the coding here and go to town on my opponent's lands. Jazzy, we're stumbling over ourselves just a little bit in terms of mana. But things are going okay. Cards are in treasure chests as of now. So we're not super working towards actually casting this, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. Our opponent also needs a white source. Like, boy, do I wish this was a red source so we could keep our opponent from Batterskulling. But that's not the timeline that I live in. Don't have the white source, please! Alright, so opponent is going to get the Batterskull. Which hopefully now I will just get to destroy. Karn's at an awkward number. My land situation's also super awkward. Like, it's fine. It's just not as good as I want it to be. One target non-creature artifact. So the real question here is, do I lose my City of Traders to play Caracas? Or do I lose my access to red mana? I think it's bye-bye to Caracas. Or bye-bye to City of Traders. Sorry. Why not play towards Helm? So I need 4 mana to do that. Yeah, that was the line. I never play with Helm in my sideboard because I think it's very bad. So I did not consider that line, if I'm being totally honest. I forgot we had it. We'll figure it out. The rough spot for a counterspell for me if my opponent has one. So the current question is, am I just taking them off a land for a turn, or am I trying to kill the Batterskull? I think let's go big here. If they don't answer this turn, if they don't answer my bridge this turn, having this germ off the battlefield makes it so much more likely that I... Yeah, it does. It kills the germ token. It like forces the germ off, which is what I care about. I'm not crazy, right? Or no, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of carning it. My bad. That's streamer brain right there, where I'm focused on too many things and just get caught up in weird lines that don't actually like work. So what I was actually thinking about is, like, on my next turn, am I supposed to, like, kill the Batterskull or just kill a land? Because I can't necessarily expect that the Ensnaring Bridge will be safe forever. Opponent's deck very likely has things like Teferi in it that can bounce the bridge. Now my Karn dies. Dies to the 1/1s. Like, it doesn't matter what else I have. And then, like, this Vial is also live. Not great for Phil fans. I also can't really afford to pitch this Spirit Guide to avoid the Batterskull attack. So I'm just going to let that happen. No, the Ensnaring Bridge is very critical to my success in this game as a whole. I think I definitely want to keep it around. So, like, the Karn plus on bridge line means that the 1/1s don't get to attack, but that I have to pitch my Spirit Guide so that the Batterskull can't attack. There's a ley line in play. Yeah, and it also exposes bridge to plow. So like my current plan to win this game is just resolve a Magus of the Moon, hide behind this bridge, and eventually find something else. Upticking Karn on coding was a line, though. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, land is good. Land means Germ doesn't attack. What? Magic Online has updated the banned and restricted lists for the following formats: Constructed Legacy. Decks that contain cards which are now banned or restricted in those decks' respective formats will need to be updated. Details can be found on mtgo.com. Okay. A little confused about that. Is that just saying Ikoria cards are live? Or is something actually banned? I'm not gonna freak out and just like stop everything I'm doing to go and check, because I have the feeling that's just nothing. Uh, 100 play points is potentially refunding your league if you're in a league where you're playing a banned card. You got dropped from the league you were in. Maybe you were playing a card that got banned. Were you playing with Oko? Were you? Astrolabes, maybe? The league ended. How am I still playing? Real questions. So, like, what the fuck am I supposed to fetch with this Arid Mesa? Am I supposed to get the white source? Or am I supposed to get a red source to have access to red after I Magus? Doomsday with Astrolabes. Or do I just get, like, Plateau? Because my opponent can't wait to slam me. And if the Magus dies or doesn't resolve, I have more colors. No, my opponent is saying, like, maybe that's the Magic Online update for Breach being banned server side or something. I don't know. Like, obviously we don't know. That's why we're having this discussion. Flicker Wisp is banned from Legacy. No. This is a 2-2? What are we doing? I mean, like, obviously I'm gonna bite. Alright. So I should have blocked Stoneforge. I mean, that could have just been an attack that said, hey, do you know how Nomad's core works? And the answer was no, I wasn't paying attention. So I should block Stoneforge this time around. It is a shame because this Chrome box would have been so good. Land, please. Thank you. This is awkward. This is so awkward. So I have to play this in my second main phase to not give my opponent 4 life this turn. How did Chalice get to 0? We played it on 0 because I had to get Hellbent for, or not Hellbent, I had to go under 4 cards for Ensnaring Bridge reasons. It was the right play at the time, but things have sort of not gone super optimally for me. JK, this is great. I need my opponent to tap some mana, though, for this to actually be great. Because otherwise they just, like, get 5 mana and play it again. I also can't do this for x equals 2. And I don't really think my opponent ever taps mana. So if anything, I just want to like blow up Vial, blow up Batterskull, deal 1 to everything this turn, and just get this 4-drop out of my hands. In hopes of drawing a land next turn. Alright. So let's destroy target artifact twice. Let's deal 1 damage to each creature. Oh, hold up. I can use liquid metal coating to blow up a land in this, right? No, killing Cephalid Illusionist is probably pretty good. Alright. 1 damage to each creature. Destroy target artifact. That one. That one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, opponent gains some life. That's alright. Once we draw a land, and we just go like land Rabblemaster, we'll just build up enough Goblin tokens over a few turns until we can actually just kill our opponent in one go. Umezawa's Jitte is going to touch me in bad places. And like the Nomad attack is super good too, because I can't actually block and kill the Nomad. Well, maybe that's not true. Yeah, I would double block and they'd assign 1 to Stoneforge, 1 to Stoneforge, 2 to Germ. Yeah, so my block does nothing. So the real question is, how does my opponent use this Jitte? Because if they don't use it to Sword and Shield, and oh man, this might be very good for me. So the Magus is gone, but now I have this bridge, right? And as long as I can deploy both of my cards this turn, like we're good. R01, or however I'm supposed to pronounce that. Thank you very much for supporting the channel by following. Alright. So now I need to not draw Chandra Torch of Defiance before I have another red source. That's how I lose. Or just like opponent to ferrying or whatever. Ooh, we also have Leyline to worry about, and I can't Chrome Mox them away. That's not bad. So my opponent can make an uncounterable Thassa's Oracle via Aether Vial, so I don't actually care about putting this on 2. I actually just want to put this on 1 to stop cantrips. And we can eventually make enough goblins that I can just kill my opponent through all their blockers / Batterskull. It's going to take a little while, though. I'm not going to map it out, because like they're just going to put more bodies into play. Alright, so I just want to point out that like now when I draw white cards, my white cards are like super, super trash because I can't cast them again. But it's like so correct to jam this Blood Moon. Alright, no Shuko, or it's in hand already. But more likely it's in the sideboard. Hey, remember that thing I just talked about? It's happening. Can I kill my opponent by turning everything sideways? Not even close. Alright, if able. I only have 1. Yeah, I know the attack's bad. There's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, so this is unfortunate for me. Like, drawing that white card there meant that, like, now my opponent can just win the rest of the game very normally through Stoneforge Mystic means. So this is the second match in a row where we've lost to our white cards. I have bad news for these Splash fans. They're not looking good. while my opponent figures out how to kill me, I'm just going to check the Legacy subreddit and see if anything about that banning stuff has made it there yet. No. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so it was just an error. So the Magic Online announcement says, after we came up from downtime, there was a brief error with the ban list for several formats. This has now been corrected, and everything should be banned. Everything that should be banned is once again banned. I guess Chalice on 2 is a thing. I'm just gonna concede. Like we're done here. I've lost. I've also frozen up. Looks like my opponent is also frozen up. Yeah. So are we? Okay. So it looks like I have been booted from that league. What do I want to do about that? I guess I'm going to rejoin a new league, but I probably won't finish the league. This was kind of a like, hey, I can stream until 5 or so sort of thing. No, I think due to the ban list things, they just like crashed and killed the previous league, and I was just still playing it because I was in a game. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and re-queue, but I just won't finish this league on stream in all likelihood. We have not won so far. We're 0-2. I don't want to beat the dead horse, but we've lost to our white cards both matches. The splash is not feeling good here. The white cards are too hard to cast, and they're clunking up our hand for Ensnaring Bridge, and we can't put them under Chrome Box to power out our other cards. We are tripping all over ourselves. Like maybe we're on the wrong end of variance here, and maybe it's not as bad as I'm feeling. Like last time around, we got a 4-1 with this deck. You know, granted, slightly different metagame and whatnot, but like we did fine with it. But today, just every game, we're having trouble. Yes to both. GG's. I tripped over myself quite a bit. I don't know how. Oh, this is great. I don't know how obvious that was from the other side of the battlefield. But I was on the struggle bus. Oh, this is a really hard hand to play in terms of sequencing. I could like talk for literally 10 minutes about the implications of all the different lines that you can take with this hand. I'm not going to. I'm just going to like make the play that I think is correct and move on. But this is a super, super interesting hand. Yeah. Min posted a screenshot from the Magic Online Twitter that basically said that they had a ban list issue when the league went live, and they fixed it. And so they killed the previous league. So that's why you got the 100 play points. Was to refund that. I'm going to take a play around Daze this turn. And just play a Trinosphere. If this gets a counterspell, great. If this resolves, great. Those are about the only lines. Yeah, so like this is a wonderful exchange for us. That, however, super sucks. Hey, there's a nice uncastable card. I hope this Trinosphere is going to do a lot of work this game. Because I'm pretty cold to just a Tarmogoyf. Our opponent is on, like, Rug. I don't think I'm supposed to jam this turn. I'm waiting. Like, using double Spirit Guide to power out something is super rough. I'd rather have these to pay for Spell Piercer Daze if possible. Do not think we're risking it for the biscuit there. Died a true name? Died a true name. Sure, but same thing, but with Daze or Force of Will, right? So now, unfortunately, I really need to make a play this turn because the true name's going to start hitting me. It's too late for the Blood Moon to matter. Now we're going to attempt to race with Rabble Masters. This place sucks. Like, we're basically losing the game on the spot to Daze or Force of Will. Yep. And so, like, this is why I didn't make a play last turn, was to try to play around that. But once, like, one of the biggest, scariest cards gets into play against us, there's not much I can do. So the insult to injury here is that, like, this True Name Nemesis is probably a 1-of in their deck, and they have not cantripped this game. Yeah, the bonus spirit guide's rough. We're really looking to draw, like, I guess, City of Traders. City of Traders power out a 3-drop. Followed by do some stuff, maybe win. I don't know. Like, without mana stability, I can't possibly set up Bridge Karn. Like, I will be dead before that can happen. Like, City of Traders into another Goblin Rabble Master is about the ideal. Great. You know what? I think we're good here. I'm gonna value my time. Especially since I'm, like, trying to squeeze in this stream. I'd rather get more games in. Alright, my board in Chandra Awakened Inferno against, like, every deck. Deck list is on screen if you click Cardboard Live. This is a pre-Ikoria deck list. So to, like, give some thoughts about this deck list. Like, Holy Light is supposed to be my answer to True Name Nemesis, but I'm playing against Delver, where unless I draw one of 4 specific cards, I don't have a stable source of white. So can I even board this card in against Delver? I feel like the answer is no, even though this is, like, very much supposed to be there for Delver. So, like, everything is awkward. And, like, I agree with you, but I think my white cards are worse. Like, Stoneforge Mystic has the saving grace of just, like, being awesome against Delver in a vacuum. So, like, I'm willing to jump through the hoop to try to play that here. But trying to get Thalia Heretic Cathar down in a quick and meaningful way is probably really hard. So I think we try something like that. The Pyroclasm is questionable. It's going to kill my 1 Magus that I'm leaving in and my Rabble Masters. And it won't kill Dreadhorde Arcanist, which is kind of a big deal. My Karn the Great Creators also aren't particularly good in this matchup either. Yes. I will absolutely YOLO this hand. I will die to Counterspell followed by Wasteland. Part 1. Yeah, Bold Days also would not be the best. Agreed. Yeah. There's definitely more wastelandable sources than normal in this deck because you're also playing, like, the plateaus in addition to just the soul lands that Red Prison plays. It's not significantly worse, but it's definitely worse. And you're also slightly less good at making the turn 1 moon. So this is happening And this is happening. And then the question is, what do I do next afterwards? Blood Moon plays into Force of Negation. Goblin Rabble Master plays into Bolt. I don't know that Blood Moon wins the game on its own. But my hand sucks, and this would buy time. They did not shuffle with Ponder. Alright, opponent played around Spirit Guide there by pitching Daze, which is a smart play. Yeah, looking forward to playing with new cards. That's why I'm kind of trying to sneak in this stream today, trying to get through the tail end of my pre-Ikoria queue between this week and next week. So I'm hoping to play a little bit of Titan tomorrow. Do a spoiler stream Saturday. Alright, that card's just going to beat me. I have not received post-Ikoria donations yet, but I hope so. It's like borderline whether or not I should even play this card. But I think I have to make my land drop to play towards Fiery Confluence to actually beat this thing. Like, everything beats me. Bolt beats me. Wasteland beats me. Counterspells beat me. Yes, monkeys can't cry. That is correct. That plays into Fiery Confluence, so at least that's good. So after this one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 pre-Ikoria deck lists to go. So I'll get through 1 tomorrow, maybe 1 over the weekend, and then I should get through all of the others next week. I mean, we take that. Now I don't trade away the Goblin Rabble Master for Young Pyromancer. Again, very dead to a Bolt still. But we weren't dead to Counterspell, so we got that going for us. But just Bolt, remove this, make a dude, bolt my face. Puts me surprisingly close to dead. I want to just concede this game so badly. But I can't yet. I still have so many outs. But it's so likely that I lose. No, this is from Geist Nachtlich in chat. This is their brew. You'll get to see one of my brews in probably about 2 weeks. I'm working on something with the Discord channel. We have the rough idea outlined, but I haven't had enough time to actually sit down and write out the deck list yet. Alright, that beats us. Oh, tap it, please. Alright, so they found the lightning bolt off of that. Okay. The colors, there's just one. You will see a pretty cool mono white brew from me in the future. Nope. Oh, this hand also sucks, right? We played turn 2 Thalia Heretic Cathar. We don't super have a follow-up. I'll need to draw land. Yeah, I don't know about this one either. Ugh. I'm going to play Mountain and pass, but it's very possible that the only way that I win this game is by playing City of Traders and spiking a soul land off the top. I'm not going there, but let the record show that I was thinking about it. All right. There. I don't need to say it, right? You know what I'm going to say. I mean, you can sub and join the Discord if you want to find out. Otherwise, I'll be talking about it on stream later. It's shenanigans around Ikoria cards. I'm probably dead here. In the world where I'm not dead, I probably need to shut off that Chrome Mox. Super awkward because this Spirit Guide lets us Chandra, and Chandra means that I can play the Karn next turn, whereas if I Karn, I can't play Chandra next turn. But Karning lets me bridge next turn, which doesn't leave me dead to this crap. But I think it's just crop rotation and I die. That's what it feels like to me. So I give my opponent priority. All right. That was brutal. All right, so we're playing against lands. We have Leyline of the Void. I'll probably do this. I do this in every matchup. And then some amount of like the bridge and spyglass stuff should probably be brought in directly. Like, this is not really the best like Stoneforge Mystic sort of setup, so I'm probably gonna board the like most of my Stoneforge Mystic package out, if not all of it. I'll keep the Thalia Heretic Cathars. They're okay here. I probably want... The purpose of the Thalias is to make it harder for me to get wins, I believe. The white cards have looked very, very bad today. I want to cut one card. Trinisphere is not exactly great. When I'm on the draw, I will cut all of the Trinispheres. This is fine. It's not an explosive start, but it's very powerful. I'm expecting to lose this game to Force of Vigor. That's how we're going to lose. I just want to call that now, before it happens, just so, you know, we're all on the same page for later. Alright, so our opponent has a Blast Zone, which is cool. This is a turn too slow. This is also a turn too slow, but I don't think we get to throw back this hand. So I'm not playing at my Chalice on 0 to prevent future Mox Diamonds, because my opponent's probably loaming for the next few turns, especially if they can take this Moon off the table. And there's going to be worlds where I'm going to want to Chrome Mox to lower my hand size for Ensnaring Bridge. So I don't think it's worth playing this out to play around future Chrome or future Mox Diamond. Gamble for Force of Vigor. Ruin me. Ooh, Field of the Dead. It's possible they gambled for that. No, they wouldn't have gambled for that. It's a mountain. Alright, so I'm going to assume they have Force of Vigor now. And not play another artifact or enchantment on my turn. Hopefully spiking a land. Nope. So we won't Chalice on 1 here, just because we're so sure that Force of Vigor is in their hand. Yeah, Force of Vigor is brutal here. Alright, I should just snap concede to that card. Red Prison normally can't beat it. And I'm missing land drops. I'll play out for a turn or two, but I expect that I'm now dead. But I think any one more card resolving from my opponent, or me missing a land drop, means that I lose. Like, I really need this Karn to shut off the Mox Diamond and food activations in the future. Land? Land? Nope. Alright. Let's lean into that Force of Vigor. It is possible that instead of Force of Vigor, they just tutored for this Oko, because, like, it should so handily beat me. I don't even know that my Karn's enough anymore, now that they have, like, extra stuff online. The Karn just takes 6 when it comes down, even if I draw the land this turn. So, like, I have to bridge first before playing the Karn. I think. Yeah, I have to play towards worlds where I actually beat my opponent. They're few and far between. So the problem is that if I Karn plus on the food, they can just plus on their Mox Diamond. Which I guess, like, does things for me that matter. Where are you at? There you are. Unfortunately, I can't play the Chalice out for 0 here due to my own Furnace here. My position would be much, much, much better if I could, because then I could just be representing, like, a Lattice Lock pretty quickly. It somewhat surprises me that they didn't get rid of the Ensnaring Bridge. Oh wow, all at me, huh? I'll jump block so I don't die to Punishing Fire then. I need a land. Alright, there's the land. So I don't just win with Lattice Lock because I have too many cards in hand. Like, I can play land, get Lattice, and then I just have 3 cards in hand, so I die. So I need to empty my hand. That involves playing 2 of these cards out. I'm going to choose to play Chalice on 1 first. And then we'll try to eliminate Oko. We'll see if we lose to Force of Vigor. Force of Vigor takes Ensnaring Bridge and Sorcerous Spyglass and Hate Life. Waiting for opponent to pay costs. Karn is non-creature. Yep, alright. Alright, you remember before the game started when I said we'd lose to Force of Vigor? I just want to say that I was right. We are now 0-4 with this deck. At pretty much every turn, the white cards have been losing us games. At least I called it. That is correct. Nope. Here's another hand where the white cards suck. Like, imagine if these were red cards. Like, literally any red card that I could cast would be pretty powerful. So the question is, on 6, am I just keeping turn 1 Goblin Rabblemaster plus some extra mana YOLO when I can't also cast red cards? Or white cards? Since my only red mana is Spirit Guide? Yeah, I don't know about that one. What does my opponent play? Opponent plays combo decks. Let's try to mulligan to a Chalice then. Ask and you shall receive. This is a weird hand. So we're going to bottom the white card. We're going to bottom Fiery Confluence. And then click Done. Turn 1 Chalice, turn 2 Batterskull. I can say with authority that is never a line that I have taken before. Oh, I'm very, very likely to do that. It's super cool. It's also a good threat, right? Like, that's the equivalent of playing, like, why do you test me? Why do you test me like this? Oh boy. It's just gotta be correct to play the threat. Right? Right? Turn 2 Chalice on 2 after turn... So opponent was last seen playing Ad Nauseam, but they've also played various Omnitel decks. Alright. We're doing it. And if they are Storm, I'm playing this on 0. Because if they're not Storm, I probably don't get a chance to play this on any number other than, like, creating a redundant Chalice on 1. Which I guess I'm doing now. The good news is Icefang Coatl doesn't have Death Touch yet, if this is Omni. Batterskull the hard way, confirmed. Well, good game. How can this possibly go wrong? I see no ways. Right, chat? Chat? So does Doomsday have this many dual lands? Is that what we're playing against? My gut says yes. Now, the Teferi just continues to plus, which I'm somewhat surprised about, because that forces them to discard. Astrolabe, huh? So now my Blood Moons aren't super good either. I guess if there are that many colors, I still just kind of do it. Well, 3-ball and Blood Moon both kind of suck, right? Because, like, anything is just going to get bounced by Teferi, and it's going to cost me 2 life every time I play my own cards. Trying to do 13 with a Spirit Guide in the face of an active Teferi is probably not realistic. And I think the Spirit Guide is going to be mana for my follow-up card, whichever one that ends up being. Opponent, please just kill me. I want to end this league. Or at least move on to the next sideboard game. I've done the coolest thing I could do this game, which was hardcast a Batterskull on turn 2. Everything from here is downhill. I don't know. I could be dead pretty quickly. Like, it's just, I'm one more black source away from being dead, right? My opponent plays a black source, bounces a Blood Moon, taps black, black, black for Doomsday, and then kills me the following turn. I'm plenty dead. I need to draw lands to redeploy these chalices. This is the other reason why I didn't want to play the Trinisphere early. I have to redeploy the Chalice there, otherwise my opponent gets to Teferi bounce the remaining Chalice and start casting 1-drops that are locked in their hand. I mean, I haven't drawn a white card to complain about yet, so at least I've got that going for me. There it is. There it is. Right on cue. I mean, a lot of people are in that same sort of boat. I'm just waiting for the official confirmation that, like, I'm not going back to school this year. Everyone, like, knows it already. It just hasn't officially happened. Caracas would be a legendarily bad draw. Agreed. Chromox is worse, yes. Just put like a Thassa's Oracle in play and hit me 22 times. It'll work, I swear. Old Ratty, thank you very much for following. Yeah, so I'm currently remote until the middle of next month. That's the official statement, but like literally no one expects to go back. I mean, Virginia's already out, and they're our neighboring state. And I think a couple others around us have as well. Yeah, Teferi not having an ultimate is cool. At this rate, opponent is just going to naturally draw their entire deck and Doomsday, or like not even have to Doomsday me. All right. I do need to do this again and try to get it to resolve so that they don't get to cast 1-drops. I think that's more important than deploying a threat. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Could be a record. Opponent has found something. Does that have like a Jace the Mind Sculptor main deck? What do you got? Nice. No, I feel like I need to shut off their lands again. Yes, you have walked in on one of the dumbest games of Magic I've played in a long time. I deserve to be so dead. So very dead. Well, my goal is to put it on this, like, Goblin Rabble Master. Or a Goblin token. I'm hoping this resolves. No, alright. That's fine. Maybe the next time my Blood Moon gets bounced, I'll play Thalia Heretic Cathar. The good news is that this weird Delver of Secrets over there is not going to kill me in a timely fashion. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the good guy or the bad guy here. I think we're both just dudes. We're just dudes in an awkward situation, kind of staring each other down, trying to figure out what's what. Alright. If opponent's gonna not attack me, then I'm just gonna, like, Blood Moon them again. I don't think I want to get that Batter Skull countered. I think I want to put, like, literally any idiot into play and then equip it with the Batter Skull. I think it's just safer. Plus, like, having these moons in play means that I don't just get, like, randomly Doomsdayed and lose if I have two of them. White cards are bad. .jpg. Do we do this and, like, shut off the Stoneforge, though? Like, do I have to begrudgingly bounce the Batter Skull this turn? Ah! Maybe I have to begrudgingly bounce the Batter Skull this turn. So, like, I bounce the Batter Skull, I cast it, it resolves, they bounce my Germ. I've cost myself 8 mana. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's just make some of our spells dead. Deader than they already are. I mean, based on how this played out today, I feel like just removing all of the white cards is correct. Alright, that's a great draw. We just put Batter Skull on that and, like, go ham. No. Alright. That opens up double spelling in a turn. Ganzier, thank you very much for following. I hope you are enjoying this game of something that resembles Magic. Agreed. This is a special game of Magic. But, like, you know how your mom says you're special? It might be that kind of special. Hey! Now we have one castable card. Assemble the Death Ape. This is absurd. The Numinator 24, thank you very much for following as well. Yes, this game has been something. Yes, this has made for good content. This game. There's still a decent amount of self-loathing here, but like we have had real intricate back and forth play. All right, Force of Will, my spirit guide. Do it. Do it. This is the best game of Magic. Never before have I used Simian Spirit Guide as a bait spell. And my opponent was like, yeah, that's too good. We gotta pump the brakes on that. Are we gonna win this game? Wow. Okay. Good guys win, bad guys lose, or something. So what are we doing against Doomsday? So they're gonna have a mentor sideboard plan, and those games might go on forever again. So let's bring in those. So spoiler: whenever I'm playing Red Prison, I basically board Chandra in every single round. There are some exceptions, but like it's basically good against everything. The card's so good. Like you take out whatever card is bad in your deck and you just replace it with this, and you're like, yeah, that's fine. It's not always good enough to be in the main deck, like because like you have more important things in game one. But like say your Trinispheres or your Chalices or something are bad, like this fills the gaps, or your Moons are bad. This fills the gaps really well. Yeah, sure, why not? Am I boarding? Like maybe I want this. Maybe I don't want this. Maybe I trim one of those. Maybe I trim all of these. Hold on, that might be the technology. This is probably fine. Bill Birth, thank you very much for following. All right, we're gonna keep this. Just want to point out once again that Stoneforge Mystic is bad here. It doesn't go under this Chrome Mox, and now it's going to be super relevant because I'm going to potentially lose one of my red cards and then not be able to Rabblemaster on turn one. I think I ended up bringing both pieces of equipment back in when I boarded the Thalias out. I expect to lose the 3 ball here, but I could be wrong. Losing a red card is like so bad for me. Except for the part where they don't cast your red cards. Yeah. Alright, well. So we're putting the Stoneforge Mystic under there. And then the question is, am I putting the Spirit Guide under there too? Or is like Spirit Guide my win condition? I think I play the Chrome Mox, but it's kind of close. So now we probably just lose to turn 3 Doomsday, naturally win, GG. This is why Whitefaces is so good at Magic. He knows all of the lines. All the things to play around. Plus he shipped me some really, like, hot fire deck lists for the post-Ikoria world. Alright. That's legit. I was thinking of drawing Chandra Awakened Inferno personally, but I understand where you're coming from. If my opponent has a bounce spell, this is like super cute. Like if they bounce this Magus of the Moon, I tap 1 for red, and then let it go back to my hand, and then tap the Ancient Tomb. It is the trappiest trap. That makes it look like I can't recast it. But I can. So like I have this reputation for being the D&T guy, right? But like I play as much Moonstompy as I do D&T. And like every once in a while you have these like super fringe situations like that come up that are like super, super important to know about. Cool. I think I just want to get Sword of Fire and Ice. I want to give this Magus of the Moon protection from things like Echoing Truth. Alright. We got on the scoreboard for today. So we played 2 rounds off stream, so we went 1-4 in this league with Red-White Prison, sorry. The white cards felt very bad all league. We were tripping all over ourselves in terms of mana. And it's super unfortunate to say that because we got a 4-1 last time around when we tried this. But it was just brutal. Like, the Magus of the Moon and Blood Moons mean that you can't get your planes effectively. And some of the white sources here become not white sources once you have the moon effects in play. You can't put the bad cards under Chrome Mox to cast the good cards when you only have colorless mana, and that's a huge problem too. And like since you only have 6 white cards, it's pretty rare that you draw multiples so that you can Chrome Mox one and cast the other one. So, you know, kind of the professional opinion is that, like, these cards shouldn't be in the deck. I do think that this deck list is better than the deck list from last time around. I will say that, even though our results were way, way, way worse. But the games were super entertaining, especially that last one versus Doomsday. You have a suggestion to make the deck better. I'll allow it. Hit me with that spice. So, I just don't think the mana base here works. Like, this should probably be another plains. There should probably be like one plateau, one more arid mesa. And I don't think Thalia Heretic Cathar is worth having in this deck. Like, just in terms of pure math, the ability for us to actually like turn one or two this card is pretty low. So those are the turns where this card's good, and I think we boarded out all of these in most of our matchups. So, I don't know. Like, Stoneforge Mystic adds an interesting angle to the deck list, but I think Red Prison is a very strong deck, and I think this is diluting its most powerful draws. The like plateaus and Caracas that we see here are making you weaker to Wasteland. The plains mean you can't cast some of your like powerful things on turn one as consistently. Yep, I'm just not about this one. It didn't feel great. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. Like, I've played 5 rounds with this deck list, and I've like kind of seen what I need to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here for today. You've gotten your full 5 rounds, and it is dinner time for me. Folks, I hope you enjoyed. I have 2 more streams upcoming this week. I'm gonna try to do another stream tomorrow, hopefully in this same time slot, where we play a little bit of Titan. And then I'll be back on Saturday morning for an Ikoria sort of like deck list discussion stream where we talk about spoilers and like the decks that they can slot into. And I'm preparing a whole bunch of deck lists to show off for that. It's not going to be like we're going to discuss every single card sort of situation like last time around, since I kind of did that with the Eternal Glory podcast that'll be coming out Friday. Friday, in all likelihood. So we're going to look more at deck lists this time around. And boy, do I have some spicy ones for you all. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn you over to, I think, E.W. Landon, who is presumably trying out some new Legacy cards. At least I hope so. Folks, I hope you enjoyed. And we got, how many subs today? We got 2 subs towards our next emote goal. Cheers, folks. Have a great rest of the afternoon.